I think it's going to go live in a second. Red dot. Oh, I get to say red dot this week. Very exciting. Very exciting. We're back with the Holin None Podcast after a very busy weekend for myself and my co-hosts. And we've got Shanky remotely from some part of Central Australia on his dial-up connection.
Northern Australia, mate. I'm in Gladstone
Yep.
for a couple of days, and then we're heading up to Yeppoon. Little holiday for Shanky.
Little holiday. You've earned it, mate. You had a big weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you got a little mini co-host with you too, so hopefully she has got something to say later on.
Oh, she might.
Yeah.
She likes local.
Danny obviously organised a very successful weekend for us, our annual golf trip.
Yep. Organised a golf trip, went off without a hitch. Great golf played. I think we had 12 boys, and it was all within a couple of strokes, down to fourth or fifth. Already organising next year's. Next year's is going to be even better, bigger and better. Already got a couple of boys paid deposits too, so we're ready to go. Nothing like
everyone should be recovered by next year too, I reckon too.
Jono might be just over his hangover by then. We'll see.
Yeah, I reckon so too.
Oh, have we lost you, Si?
Yeah.
I'm here.
He's here? Okay, we'll just let him drop in and out as he needs. I guess we'll start with some trivia. I'm assuming he can hear us, so we'll shoot over to you first, Dan.
Yep, let's do some trivia. I've got some Victor Hovland / Norwegian based trivia. So if you always want to get on your phones and send the answers, I've got a couple of questions. We'll start off with Norway. What's Norway's national animal? Is the first question. What's the national animal of Norway? Home of Victor Hovland, champion golfer of the FedEx Cup.
Give me 1 sec.
I'm just going to go with that, and I'm going to assume that.
Simon, you can just say yours if because Hayden's already sent it to me, if it works for you.
Okay, I'm gonna go for Norway. I'm gonna go with the Norwal.
The Norwal? The Narwhal? No, both wrong. Hayden said fox. It's actually a moose. So I thought Simon might have had an advantage there. So it's a moose.
Okay.
Bunch of moose lovers over there.
Yeah.
All right. What color? What 3 colors are on the Norway flag?
Okay, so let me send it to you first.
Yeah, you send it to me, and then Simon can say it.
We're doing this on Messenger. Sorry, I gotta
oh, you're doing it? Okay, there you go. So we've got Hayden's answer through.
What was the question? Sorry.
What color is the Norwegian flag?
Can I just say it if you got his?
Yeah, you can just say it, mate.
I think it's like red, blue, white.
Yes, I thought you were gonna say red, white, and blue, being American and all, but yes, you're right. Red, white, and blue. So we've got 1 each. 1 each. All right. Victor Hovland has played 98 events this year. How many cuts has he made? Closest without going over.
He's played 98 events this year.
98 events. So he's a busy man. Busy man. That's PGA only.
Did you get that, Dan?
Yes, you did. And 98 was not the correct answer. he made 80. He made 88 cuts. So Hayden takes that one.
This year, they said that in the post interview. You made every cut.
Oh well, that's not what PGA.com says. So we'll see. Maybe the commentators had it wrong. So we got 2-1 to Hayden. This is a double decker question. So this will be the last one. Firstly, how did Victor Hovland learn English? And in what martial art is he a black belt?
I did this question.
You did it? So you know it?
I did it for you guys back when he won his first event this year.
Well, can you remember the answer then?
Yeah.
We'll see.
He is a.
Hold on, Hayden didn't send this through yet.
I can't. I just tried to spell it, but I can't spell
it. Okay, Simon.
He is a black belt in Taekwondo, isn't he?
And how did he learn English?
He learned English in the States, probably by watching some stupid show like 2.5 Men.
I heard it on the broadcast.
I'll give that one to Hayden because Hayden got it correct. Well, Hayden said taekwondo, but
That's not
that's not quite taekwondo. But and yeah, he learned English by watching historical films. So there
Yeah.
you go. So Hayden can take that one out. There's trivia done for the boys. A little bit of Norwegian history there. They also got their independence in 1905. If you ever need that for a trivia night, Norway.
Who was the who had rule?
Say that again.
Who had rule over Norway?
I assume England, didn't they just rule everybody back then?
Yeah, I suppose so.
I'll Google it.
I don't think. I wouldn't think it would be England.
Who did Norway get independence from?
Oh, it's probably
The
Russia.
Peace Treaty of Kale. After being defeated in the Denmark was forced to cede Norway to Sweden.
There you
So
go.
I guess somewhere between Denmark and Sweden.
Oh, you never trust the Swedes, man. Those good-looking bastards are dodgy.
That's right. So I think we're going to hand over to yourself, ITs, for some stats from the Tour Championship.
I've only got one stat, and I just think it's mind blowing. So over the 4 rounds, everyone else doesn't even factor. It's Victor and Xander. So Victor and Xander finished with 3.509 strokes gained together, the exact number. Okay, the closest was 1.7, which was Wyndham Clark.
Good on Wyndham coming back.
So stroke gained off the tee, both of them 14.034, exactly the same. Stroke gained tee to greens 10.6 and 10.4 respectively. So Hovland just had him, and strokes gained putting 3.3 and 3.5, and Xander just had him. It was like you couldn't even have ridden a closer finish statistically. You can look at that and not know who won. Wyndham was next best, then actually Sam Burns. With a token total strokes gained.
It was great. I mean, those between those two, like you said, they were just like what does Xander say? Like he come out hit a 61 and still lost. Like what can you do? What can you do? I think that was the lowest score of the year.
Yeah, Xander was just a weapon. Like, and obviously full credit to Victor.
Yeah, I mean Victor went out and got that. Sorry, Shaggy.
If Victor didn't have those 8 strokes, Xander probably would have taken, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's crazy. Like if you think about those strokes, I guess you got to earn them. But Scheffler for 2 years in a row. I mean, I guess we'll jump into the Tour Championship, right? Scheffler for 2 years in a row starts 10 under and just doesn't take advantage of it at all. Finished 11 over.
Yeah. Well, for a par 70 course, he gave a lot of strokes back to the course.
It's unacceptable. Like I said during the week, I think Scheffler might be one of the most overrated golfers on tour at the moment. I think that he's just putting so badly that people think that everything he does is magic. But if your ball's not in the hole, then it doesn't count, right? So I think when you look at that leaderboard, Rory's up there again, another top 10 finish. So what was that, 10 in a row that he's had 10 top 10 events in a row. He's finished top 10. Absolutely amazing. But Scheffler and Hovland Hovland was 11 shots better than the next best if Schauffele wasn't around.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm just trying to see where Roy stacks up. Terrible tee approach. Tee to green.
Okay.
Terrible. Like negative strokes gained.
Yeah,
but he still managed to get a top 4.
Yeah.
I mean, he did have a big charge on the last day, like especially, it wasn't even like the first 9 holes. I think it was the last 9 holes. He like made up a bunch of strokes. The field actually, I felt like the field was not playing well at all. Like I feel like no one was really playing that great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was a bit of hope there for Morikawa in the first 2 days. He goes -9, -6, and then proceeds to shoot positive the next 2 days. So that was a bit disappointing. This could have been Morikawa's time to shine. I know High Tees is a big fan, so
Morikawa had minus statistics, -2.5 strokes gained putting. So he's just like blowing up,
He definitely
5 over the last 2 days.
He missed. He easily could have gone under par by a lot the last day, and he missed like every birdie putt.
Yeah. I mean, Rory's strokes gained putting was actually better than Victor and Xander's. He was like second best in the field.
Yeah, Rory's a good putter. Like I got props for Rory putting. He always seems to make these long putts. Like every highlight reel, you'll see him like make like a 30-footer from somewhere.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, Morikawa, the young man, you don't see him get angry a lot. And I was frustrated. Like I could sense the frustration within him, and then he actually let it rip. I think it was on I think it was the par three on, what was that, 16? One of the last
Mm.
par threes.
15, yeah.
Yeah, he put it short in the bunker, and he just exploded. Like he's just so frustrated with himself, like to let this go. I felt so bad for him.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
went
a lot of,
bogey double 2 in a row. But
would have been a lot of
talk
pressure
about
on himself from the previous day, I'd say. So
talk about sinking long putts. What about Victor Hovland, man of steel, sinking that, what was it, 35 footer or something to hit par? Not that it mattered in the end, but it was a real show of like, hey, I'm not letting anything go here.
It probably did matter, because if he had made bogey there, then he could have lost momentum going into the next few holes. Like that probably amped him up. That amped me up. Like I got goosebumps when he fist pumped that putt.
Because he still had 4 holes to go, I think. He still had 4 holes to go because Xander birdied that hole, I think.
But when you go bogey,
No, he parred it.
That can play with your mental state, right? He's in a good mental state. So if he had bogeyed that hole, could have changed everything. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
that too.
I agree with you. He rolled on, especially when he went and birdied the 18th. It was just like a rubber stamp, done.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it 17 and 18?
He sunk that par on 14 from a mile away. Then he's gone out and gone par, birdie, birdie, birdie to finish. So the last 3 holes, he's gone 3 under. Like that. His last 3 holes was better than Scotty Scheffler's whole weekend. So
yeah, I mean, for the guy to go even, it's pretty sad, to be honest. But anyway,
yeah,
he just had a bad weekend. Like everyone has them. Like I'm sure people did worse. I think Tommy Fleetwood did awful this weekend too, which is unfortunate.
No, Fleetwood came 6th, T6.
Did he?
He went 65, 66 to come back in.
Oh, well, I'm wrong. I thought
he went 1 over and then even, so he was 1 over after the 2 days, and then he's gone 5 under, 4 under for the last 2 rounds.
Yeah, okay.
The 9 under across 2 days.
Last time I saw him, because they didn't put him on TV a lot, but I think last time I saw him, he was like tied 26th. So I thought he just screwed
that final day, I watched a replay because obviously we were pretty tired from our golf trip, so I sort of watched it on delay. The coverage was just the 2 boys at the top, pretty much, solely them. It was like the Hovland Xander show.
It was kind of frustrating for me because guys like Sam Burns played so well and well inside their unhandicapped state to get themselves in contention, but they kept going back to Rory. And Rory wasn't in it, and he wasn't making a charge, but they've got this love affair with Rory, and there's guys that are battling that have done a really good job, and Sam Burns is the number one, and even Simic is set striker. They don't even get they get 1 shot maybe, kind of thing. I don't know. I find that a bit frustrating.
Under the final day, Rory and Wyndham. So you've got Rory and Wyndham in the group after the group before the final group going 5 under each, stroke for stroke. So I guess there's a bit of excitement there. And then obviously, they're trying to build up. They're trying to make it as much of a major as they can. They're really trying to shove it down our throat that it's like this big event. And it is a big event, but it's not a major.
I would like to know the stats on the amount of people that putting Rory on the air, how many viewers that would bring compared to a different golfer. Kind of like the Tiger Woods effect, when people knew he was playing in a tournament, the viewership would go way, way up. I wonder if Rory kind of has that effect now. It's probably not at the same level, but I reckon, Rory would bring in more views, and that's the reason he's always on, even if he's not winning.
Yeah, probably.
Well, when you think about the story of the year, right, Burns has basically just done not a lot this year, so he's not really a big story, right? So if you talk about, who's going to bring eyes to the TV, Hovland, Xander, Rory, Wyndham even's had a really good year.
Yeah, even Wyndham, he didn't get that much coverage. He got coverage because he was playing with someone.
With Rory,
yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's probably coming from someone like me who watches a lot, and I want to see all the players. I just don't want to just see Victor Hovland, for example.
What's going on with Rahm, dude?
Well, Rahm he's gone 4 over on the final day and 1 over the second last. He's gone 5 over after going 5 under and 1 under. So he's 1 under for the weekend. So him and Scotty basically did the exact same thing. The two, at the start of the year, people were saying that, I was definitely saying that I can't see anyone beating him. Yeah, and now he's just beating himself up. And you could still argue that he's had the best year of anyone on tour because he's had a major in 4 and 4 other victories, right? So you could still argue the fact that he's had the better year of anybody.
Yeah, I mean, even the pros, right? They're not exempt of the roller coaster of golf. I guess it just comes down to that, and he'll probably come out and annihilate everybody at the Kapalua in January. So
Yeah,
it's
do it all
just
again.
it's weird. Like he's peaked so early in the season. We all know what he's capable of. For him not to be able to put together like 4 rounds in the like after the Masters, basically. Like when's the last time he had a good round since the Masters?
Not a good whole event. Yeah, he's had a couple of good rounds, but he's really struggled, hasn't he? Maybe he just really wanted that next major, and then it sort of took it out of him. Like we saw that with Rory, put everything he had into the Masters, then he had to have a few months off, basically doing nothing.
Maybe he's feeling it like the gamesmanship at Mexico, losing on purpose, coming second, so he didn't have to go back. Maybe it's messed with him.
Well, that's another thing. So he could have easily won 5 events this year and a major. So I would say that he's probably, again, if we forget about recency bias, he probably has had the best year of any golfer this year.
Oh, he's had an excellent. I'd say Scotty Scheffler, I mean, from a money standpoint, is the only one who's probably done a bit better.
Yeah, but he didn't win a major, right? And I mean, you could say the same thing about Rory. He's had 10 top 10s in a row, so you could say that's the best year. And obviously, Victor won the playoff. So I guess if you win the Super Bowl, it doesn't matter how you did in the regular season, right? It's about who wins at the end of the day.
Yeah, but in the Super Bowl, they don't give you 14 touchdowns
before you kick off.
Sure.
But hey, the guy who got 14 touchdowns still lost. So
yeah, I mean, I wonder if that plays a part too, right? Like these guys, start -10. You don't take it as seriously. Do you know what I mean? Like all these guys from the back seem to try a lot harder.
I think, wasn't it before last year? It had only happened like once or twice that person who started in first had actually lost. Like it doesn't happen very often.
I think it was like the last 3 years or something.
No, because Cantlay was the year before that, and he just won easy.
Yeah.
So there's probably a lot of psychological stuff there. Like obviously Morikawa came at him hard early. He from 10-stroke lead, you kind of play defensively. That's a smart play, keeping the money, and then Morikawa puts their foot down, and then it sort of messes with Scotty. Morikawa falls off. Xander goes hard. Victor goes hard. So yeah, I mean, the gamesman played himself into the ground. I think bad advice. Go out and win it.
Yep. What we say, but I mean overall everyone played pretty well.
Yeah,
Jason Day coming third last wasn't great, but he's just hanging on at this point. Him and Spieth both right at the bottom of the table, but
like Spieth, dude, like this is a guy who came out charging in his career, and now he's just struggling to hit the ball well. I don't understand like how you can lose that much of your game this quickly, right? You know what I mean? Like if anything, most people improve or just become more consistent, like especially as they get into their 30s. I don't know. Spieth it boggles me. Like he's such a good player. He's so good around the greens. So good around the greens. But I guess he has to be because he keeps missing the greens.
I think there's a tier. There's like a tier level of player that is they play golf to win majors, and I think that everything else comes sort of secondary. They play to peak in that central period when all the majors are. I'd put him in that group. Like he wants to win majors. He doesn't want to be that guy that like won them all and can't win them again kind of thing. I think that's his priority. That's just my take on it anyway. For Spieth particularly.
I don't know. When I was watching the Netflix, like the Full Swing doco on him in his first episode, like he even says like how you been playing this year. It's like, well, I was playing shit until I won a tournament. Now I'm good. You know what I mean? So I feel like it does mean something to them to still win these smaller events. Obviously, he does want to win that PGA Championships. I mean, to be honest, I feel like the PGA Championship's like the easiest one to win for some reason. And I'm like, how haven't you won when you've won all the others? But yeah, it's I don't know, man. I really like Spieth, and to see him struggle for this long is hard to watch. I mean, he made the playoffs, good for him. But other than that, I just feel like he should be so much better.
Clinging on, eh?
He did look like he was having a bit of a resurgence, and then it just sort of simmered out.
Yeah, it just comes and goes. And this is what I was saying earlier in the season, right? It's just like you want to cheer for him, but when he goes to hit the ball, you just have no confidence that he'll put it where he should put it.
Yeah.
Every swing, there's for me, there's no confidence anyway. But anyway, I'll let it go. I'm not anti-Spieth. I just feel bad for the guy.
Yeah.
What about Big Tone not not really showing out in the FedEx Cup this year. That we sort of
Mm.
thought at the beginning of it, we said he's the guy at the back end of the year that starts the. He didn't do. I don't think he finished anything better than a T20 all of these comps.
Man, he's again a guy that could just hit the ball so well that's just not doing it.
Sorry, I'm just gonna go for a second.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we've got the Mr. Consistencies up the top. Cantlay, McElroy, Clark, Fleetwood, all the same names that we seem to see every week.
Yeah, you called it with Xander though. The man was due and he was
Yeah.
coming. He wanted it. So, and I, props to
I had a
Xander.
feeling about Xander. It just felt like it was his sort of. Obviously, he didn't win, but maybe on any other year he probably would have with that performance. But what happens with Victor from here? What do we think? What do we like? If we're talking way too early predictions, what do we think Victor has in store from next year? 3 majors, 4?
I'll let Hayden go first.
I think he probably has a really good rest over the next maybe 3 or 4 months. Like I think we won't see a lot of him, and I think that's probably strategic to try and peak, come back and play his way back into form again coming into the majors. So I think he wins one.
Oh yeah, I think he can definitely win next year easily. It'll be interesting to see if because at the moment every part of his game is solid, every single part of it, right? There's no
Yeah.
weakness to his game. And I mean, when you're doing that, you're winning. So obviously that's a given. But his drives, his approaches have always been good. It'll be interesting if he can keep up the short game as he's been doing.
Yeah.
I think that for him, that's always been the hardest part, and he's been doing it so well. So if he can, start the next season off doing that, if he can still, and that's the other thing too, I hope he doesn't feel like he's now good at short game. Like I feel like I hope he keeps working at it, and keeps going hard and keeps trying to get better at it and keeps that focus. Because if he loses that focus, I feel like he won't win again.
I don't think he's the kind of guy who would ever think he's like good at something. I think he'd be the kind of guy who like just thinks he's good enough at some things, but I don't think he'll ever stop working. I mean, even with the short game, he like recognized it and put a little video out on TikTok or Instagram about him working on a short game, right? He's like, hey, everyone keeps saying I'm bad at my short game, so he starts chipping off his couch and things like that. I think he's such a good character that he's just going to keep going and getting better.
Yeah.
I think next year he definitely has. And he's only 25, so he doesn't have to win a major next year, but I think he would, or he'll definitely contend like he did this year. I would see him winning at least one, maybe a US Open to go with his US Amateur Open.
Yeah, I think he's definitely the favorite for everyone going forward.
Yeah,
love it.
The other, Xander finished well. I think Xander's. I think it's fair to say Xander's well overdue to win something.
Yeah. Well, he's won a couple of events, but nothing like only the team ones and obviously the gold medal a few years ago. He'll come out next year. He's always there or thereabouts. Well, if he keeps playing like that, it'll be impossible not to win something.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you think Victor will become world number 1 next year?
I think he definitely could if Scotty doesn't learn how to putt in the off season.
Yeah.
You've got to assume that Scotty goes out and just putts for 6 months straight though.
Oh man, he's gonna go to Holin's coach and be like, hey man.
I'm not sure on how the rankings when he could move up, when it could actually work for Hovland. Like it'd have to be post like Phoenix kind of thing when Scotty's wins start dropping off, and because Rahm's going to start dropping significantly around the same, like.
Well, no, Rahm won't because he had the major and he had 6 wins. He had 5 wins this year, so he'll actually stay out for a while.
True.
But
Yeah,
Scotty's will drop off at right when you're saying. But I think that's when you want to be peaking around waste management anyway, right? Because that's when the majors are starting to come.
Yeah. So
and that's when Scotty's going to start peaking again too. So.
Were there gold world ranking points in that event that just meant that it probably wasn't, right? Because there's only 30 people.
Oh, I'm not sure. No, I don't think so. Yeah, you'd have to. I think it's
Victor's 4th. Tour championship winner, field rating, points won, 35 each. There you go.
Okay.
So not a lot of points, but yeah, they got points.
Okay. Well, does anyone have anything else on the golf itself from the weekend?
We could probably jump into the FedEx Cup points thing we did, our draft thing. If you want me to bring it up,
do it.
Sure. Can you guys still hear me? Okay.
Yep.
All right, just finding it.
I've got it if you want me to bring it up.
I've just found it.
Got it?
Yep.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yep, I got you, Simon.
Lost you.
Can't hear us. Okay.
Okay, share the screen. Can't find it. That's fine. Yeah, you might have to do it. Sorry, I can't bring it up.
That's all good. We don't have to. Simon can't hear us, so let's just keep cracking on. Let's just share. Let's just have a look at this. So this is the FedEx Cup points that we were doing. Can you see that?
Yep.
Talk us through it.
Cool. I mean, last week was really interesting. Everyone managed to field a full team. A couple of our players didn't quite make it, which is good. Some good trades there, I guess. Big comeback from yourself, Danny, with I think who was your spearhead, Xander. Like huge week from him. Fitzy and all them did quite well. Ram let me down again. Harmon was kind of just floating around. Obviously, Victor Hovland's just been a bit of a weapon, so got me across the line. Scheffler's unlucky again, like pretty close. Wyndham did a good job for Shanky and Morikawa, and then Spieth was technically one over. So
the only positive score on the board for the week.
Yeah, so not ideal, and then just noting that these are scores are minus the FedEx Cup head start points. We're just going off the stick. So yeah, probably he's coming back. I'd say probably the difference was probably the Fleetwood play at the start of the year. I'd say would be the major difference.
Yep, Fleetwood's done a pretty good job for you.
Yeah, just getting that bump out in front, and then it sort of gave me.
Spieth started working for Shanky, and then just started with a -11, and then went +2 over the next 2 weeks. Can't be winning stuff with that. My Siwoo Kim trade for Seb Straka ended up not being ideal.
Yeah, Seb was written.
Seb was 9 under for this week, but it wouldn't have made a difference anyway. So looks like you've taken it out for this year. We'll have to try again. Maybe figure something out for Ryder Cup.
We'll do something for the Ryder Cup for sure.
We'll have to get you a couple pairs of socks between Shanky and I.
Yes, I can't wait.
Can't wait. You're on mute there, Shanky.
You're on mute, buddy.
Sorry, apologies, technical difficulties. So do we do one sock each?
Sure. No, I think we did one pair each, right? So we've got to figure that out.
1 second.
Alrighty. I'll drop that one off.
Cool.
So that's the FedEx Cup Championship. The bets are also over. We said the bets were going to go till the end of this event. So coming in last, unfortunately for yourself, Shanky, you've dropped down to 125.55 in the negative. So you've got your bookie chasing you for some money. We got Hayden Heights coming in second at $30.80. Hayden got the closest to the winning score, which I don't think any of us thought it was going to be that high. I mean, apart from obviously Hayden. And I've managed to come out on top with a 57.90. So I honestly, at the start of the year, I thought we'd win a lot more money than this. I don't know how you guys thought. I thought we were a bit better at betting.
Golf betting's hard, dude.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
hard.
we've taken a few big risks though that maybe didn't pay off, and maybe if we were using our actual real money, we wouldn't have taken some, like your Harmon Tompkin Burns bet at 32.25. That came off.
Yeah. I didn't really think about it. I could have just picked some real basic ones and locked in the victory almost, but I didn't.
But you would have. I reckon you would have picked Scotty T5, and it would have not paid off anyway, right?
Yeah, probably I would have done something like that, but I just I probably could have given myself a better chance. I didn't really consider it was the last week, so that's all good though. It was well deserved win there. Good comeback.
Yeah. If I look back through the year, some of the highlighted bets, I would say, Hayden, one of your best bets was the Bryson DJ Cam bet that you had at one of the at the US Open. So you did three live golfers to get in there, and you won a bunch of money off that. That was a really good one. I would say, Shanky, you bet on Fleetwood about almost 99% of the time. Didn't quite come off for you, unfortunately. Your best win would have been the Tommy Fleetwood one, actually, for T5 at the US Open as well. And you had a Minwoo Lee at the PGA Championship, which won you quite a bit too, which was quite good. And then myself, I had a big win with one of our best mates, Foxy, and Bobby Mack at the Scottish Open. That was a good one for me.
Great call.
Yep.
And then obviously Xander this week, just gone. But yeah, no, all good. I think we'll start it up again at maybe the start of the what's the first event? Kapalua?
Yeah, Kapalua is the real first event for me. That's all. There's events during the off season. We sort of go into like an off season swing at the moment where your Wesley Bryant's get a lot of game time and your Harry Higgses. But
Also some live events.
yeah, there's definitely some live events. Well, the live finals will actually be really interesting. I'm looking forward to that because Cam is coming first. So.
And I'd also like to do the some of the Oz championships, like the Queensland and the Australian championships. I think would be fun too.
Live from the party stand.
Oh, how good would that be? We could also go to the
Can't
little
wait.
booth at G2 over the 18th. Set up the cameras.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, I think that's us done for the week. We'll go to the Holin Out section, and I think we'll start with Shanky this week for the Holin Out section. What do you got for us, Shanky?
Perfectly fine, mate. Well, I got a couple things. One, I want to hold out on my little girl for making the 5-hour trip and not crying the entire time. So that was nice. She got maybe 2 hours of sleep for the 6-hour trip. So look, for a baby, pretty hard. They don't know what's going on. It gets hot. They can't move. And so good on her for kind of keeping it together most of the time. There was a lot of singing in the screaming out some Wheels on the Bus.
Wheels on the Bus.
Yeah, great one. Whipped out some of my swimming tunes as well. I'm a little pancake. I don't know if you heard that one. I'm a little pancake on my back. Yeah. So that's my first one. Props to my little girl. But I'm also holding out on golf books at the moment. Really, sometimes I struggle to get into a book. But there's been a few golf books that I've just enjoyed reading lately that kind of like get me back into the right mindset for golf and how I kind of work on my swing. So Hayden, I shared one with you recently, 4 Foundations of Golf.
Yep.
I've reread that one a couple times. There's some good old books. Ben Hogan's book from like the 1960s or 70s, whenever he released that one, is fantastic. And I just find myself just excited to read them. Even if I can't always incorporate what they're saying into my game like I do. It's kind of like that when you get into a YouTube cycle and you keep watching these YouTube clips saying how to improve your game. It's almost like that with the books, and you kind of understand what they're saying. And even if you don't incorporate it now, you might think back on it later and be like, oh, that's what he was saying. Yes, that makes sense now. I can incorporate that into my game. So really enjoying just reading golf books at the moment.
Nice one. I think that book that you gave me to read, I incorporated something out of that into my game, and it actually helped me immediately drop shots. So they are good. Can vouch that it does work.
Sweet.
That's like that. Just for the record, everybody, you don't have to shoot at every single pin on 18 holes every single time.
Yeah, middle of the green.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll go next. I'm holding out on firstly Gold Coast Golf. Gold Coast really turned it on for us. Gold Coast, Queensland, the weather was amazing. We had 3 beautiful sunny days, great nightlife, and the golf was fantastic. Trying to chase down high tees and Shanky on the last day was hard, and I did have to go for every pin on the final day. So sometimes you do have to if you're chasing, but no, Gold Coast Golf was great. Holding out on that, and secondly, holding out on I'm a big NFL fantasy guy. NFL fantasy drafts is my favorite time of the year. I pretty much play NFL fantasy just for the draft season. So this Saturday I'm hosting one of my leagues at my house. So 14 guys coming around and a couple of stragglers. We're gonna sort of have a big draft board, have some pizzas, some beers, and a bit of carry on and do a bit of drafting. So can't wait for that on the weekend. That's my hole out for the week.
Nice. Bad invite, dude.
You don't play NFL fantasy, mate. So I do need to borrow your camping fridge though, and maybe
Hey,
some
he
chairs.
definitely does it now.
Yeah. I need to borrow some chairs from you, so we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I won't be there, so
Don't
I'm
come.
I'll be up here all week,
Oh, great. So you won't need your chairs then. Perfect.
and my fridge is broken.
Hard being Shanky.
Hi, Tees, what do you got?
Sorry.
I'm holding out on something fantastic, something I've never seen before in my life. And can we clap it up? Clap it up. The 10th Hope Island, Shanky Watts, beautiful 3-wood down the middle, 56-degree eagle on a par 4. Just one of the greatest things I've seen.
Yes, I did.
I was
I did
glad
hear
to
that.
be there. You did hear it. Everybody else on the course heard it too. It was just one of the coolest things I've seen, and I'm so glad that you got it, buddy. So well done, mate. That was awesome.
Thanks for that. Yeah, no, it was a pretty surreal experience.
I heard it trailed in from the front of the green. I heard it rolled in, and you guys
It developed.
on the edge, and
It
stopped
developed.
on the edge of the cup and did the old drop in last minute.
Yeah, to be honest, it was exactly how I kind of played it out in my mind. Like I was saying to Hayden, I had two options. I could use my 60 and try to do a nice high shot, let it land soft next to the pin, or hit a bit of a shorter shot with my 56 and let it roll to the pin. And I chose the latter, and it just came out great and just epic.
He's gone.
He's gone. Perfect.
And he followed it up with a 300-something meter drive that almost killed you on the next
Yeah,
hole.
actually, your drive on the next hole landed right next to me. It was great.
Sorry, did I cut out?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying I was giving props to Kevin07 as well for amping me up as it was getting closer and closer to the hole.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I didn't hear any of you guys. All I heard was Kev. All right, I think that's us done for the FedEx Cup and for the week.
Cool.
Awesome. See you
Cheers,
next time.
boys. Peace out.
Peace.